Hey guys, we're back with my Razor scooter today. Scooter, try that again. The wheel came in. This is kind of interesting. This wheel is not. This is pneumatic or has air in it. So this is a hard rubber, the new one. The old one's not. So we're gonna take the old one out, put the new one in, then we're gonna take it for a test drive. Says we're supposed to get 12 miles an hour at it. We're gonna test it for sure. You watched the video prior where I diagnosed what was wrong with this. You can see that the electric motor was burned up and had some burnt bushings in it, or in the motor, so that's what happened to it. We've already replaced the batteries. We thought that was it first. It wasn't. So now we got a new motor and we're going to see if that's it. Should be a pretty quick and easy installation. Just need a Phillips head screwdriver and a wrench to put the new nuts in. What's nice is they came with new nuts and new washers for this wheel, so that's kind of cool. I think probably maybe the most difficult thing we're going to have is running this wire back up in there, but we'll see. So let's get started with it. Again, the batteries and all the wires for the motor are located here underneath the, I don't know, I would call it a seat if it's a bike, but it's not a seat. I guess it's where you stand on it, your footrest. I don't know the technical term for it. And this should just slide right off like that. And if you lift it up, the screws will stay in it so you don't lose any. Because the last guy who had it already lost some. I disconnected the battery prior because in the videos before you'll see that this was smoking because we burnt it out pretty good. So let me stop the video and show you what wires you got to disconnect so you can see what wires are connected to the motor. They're pretty explanatory. There's a blue, a yellow, and a green, and then this one battery here, or this one terminal here that's hooks in there. And the hardest thing is going to be running the wire through this little grommet that hooks the wheel on. The wheel comes off with these two nuts in the back. Pretty good, easy situation there. So let me grab the camera, kind of show you where we're at here with the wires. Okay, so you can see the wire. This red terminal battery goes to the batteries. Here's our battery pack. If you reorder these battery pack, they will come into 3 already hooked up, already wired, so you're good to go there. Here is your blue, yellow, and green wires that we're going to disconnect. Okay, and then this is your battery wire, and you're just gonna, this is a little clamp right here, we're just gonna pull this and separate that. So you can see those are the wires right there for the whole back wheel. So let's get over here to the back wheel, and basically we're going to undo these 2 nuts. Now, I'm a motor guy. I like motors, not crazy about electric, so we'll see how this thing does going electric. So because we got new ones, we'll use the new ones. Set them aside here. Now there is these washers, and like I explained before, if I can get them off, because you know, you get a screwdriver here to help us get that off of there. Because you know my fingers are so big, right? Okay, so we're just going to pull this off. So you can tell, if I can show you again, there's a little notch on this here, and this on this washer, and this goes in the bottom of the slot here so it doesn't spin when it's in the wheel. So the new one came the same way. Do the same on the back side here. Okay, got that off of there. Okay, so we're just gonna lift this up and this wheel will drop right out of there. And this wire should easily pull out. Now, whether or not we can get it back in that easy, so I'm going to take the grommet right out with it. So we have one wire here that goes to the brake light in the back. We don't want to mess that up. Just grab a light so I can see what's going on in there. So I'm going to use the screwdriver I had. Needs a little persuasion to get it through there. Okay, got it out. Came out of there pretty good. Okay, so we're going to take this fender off, which is just right here, a bolt and an Allen wrench. So we're going to take that off because it's going to be easier to get the wire fed through there and replace the grommet. So there's an Allen head over here, and then this is just a nut. That looks a little stripped. There. Today we're using for a workbench my Polaris Ranger because it happened to be in here. Just needs a little love tap. Yeah, it looks like we just need a little love tap. So let me go get the love tapping machine. And we just got to get a pry tool just to pry that out the rest of the way. And a good one for that is a flathead screwdriver. Yeah. That's a lot easier. All right, so that's the wire here. This is the little grommet to feed this new wheel through. So wire goes on this left side. So what we'll do is we'll put this on here first. We'll feed this wire through there. Can you see? Let me get you zoomed in here. Hold on one second. Let me get you zoomed in here. You can kind of see right here is the hole that goes through. So we're going to make sure that this is upright like that to fit in there. I think what we're going to do is we're going to feed this big plug in first. And if I can get a view of it from over here, that big plug in first, and then we'll feed the blue, yellow, green wire in afterwards. All right, let me put you back on so you kind of see how we're going to do that, but I need two hands to do this with, so bear with me. Okay, now that we got my second hand free, I can do this. So put the big one through first, and then feed those other two through there. Three, sorry, blue, yellow, green. Okay, we got those all through there. All right, perfect. Perfecto. Okay, now we're just gonna put this rubber grommet back in there. Make sure the brake light wire is in the rubber grommet. Just feed that in there. Okay, that's in there good. Now we'll put this back on. Okay, so there is a spring right here, and it's kind of dirty, so we want to make sure that sits in there so it pushes up against the brake. Feed this end of it through first, and wire get pulled back in there. Oops. See that grommet's just not pushed in there all the way to one side. There we go. Grommet's in there perfect now. Just line up the holes. There we go. Okay. Okay, took this out so you can see how the spring goes. So we want to load the spring back up. So the top is up here, and these bottom 2 feet are like this. So when you push that in there, you're going to load it like that. So it pushes against the frame, and then that hole will hold this up so that when you're pushing back down, that's the way the spring works. So we gotta, when we load that in there, when we put that bolt through there, that's the way the spring needs to sit in there. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, so we got that started with the spring loaded right. And probably the hardest part is going to be lining that second hole up. we go. Okay, got it lined up in the fender. Now I got to get it lined up in the hole here. So I'm going to just push on that fender a little bit. You are going to be a little stubborn brat, aren't you? There we go. Spring works just like it should. Perfect. Might struggle a little bit with that just to get that in there, but we got it in there fine. Spring works perfect. Now let's put this on. I'm going to take these nuts with these washers right off. I think that would be the easiest way to do this. Okay. Now, okay. So we'll put that, remember that little notch goes down as it sits right on that thing, on the bolt, on the axle. Put that on there. We'll do the same over here. And remember, want to make sure our tire aligns so it's perfectly aligned in there so it's not rubbing on either side. So let's do that. Looks like they got good spacers so it stays aligned, but just make sure it's aligned. It's a beautiful day out for first day of school up here in North Country. Really excited to see how this thing rides. Can't wait to get it put together here and see how it runs. So before we get going too crazy, let's pull that out of the way so that makes sure that that's perfect. Let's make sure that grommet's pushed back in there all the way. Okay. So, green to green. Oops. Green to green. Blue to blue. And yellow to yellow. And then this clip. There we go, get the right clip. Gets tucked down in there to the side of the battery. I'm not going to hook up the battery till I get the wheels tightened up. Before I tighten this wheel up all the way, I just want to make sure I got the wire tucked into the axle pretty good. I'm just going to loosen this one up over here, because I don't like the way the wire is tucked up underneath there, and I want to make sure that wire is tucked in the axles pretty good. Okay, so the wire's tucked up good, it's out of the way. Just wanted to verify that. This thing's going to tip over and take out. So, okay. Almost knocked it over and took out the camera in the works here. Okay, so let's plug the battery in, see what happens. Battery's plugged in. Tuck these wires away real nice down through here. Battery wire tucked away along the side. Let's get this thing back on. Like I said, we paid $40 for this. We put some new batteries in it. That one bolt screw stripped. Okay. Probably have to get some new. I'll go to the hardware store and grab a couple screws for this that are missing. Looks like I got one up front. And this has got like a broken clip anyways, so that's really not holding anything. Okay, let's take it down and see what happens. Okay, let's hit the power button. We got power. Alright, let me set the camera up so you can see. Let's take it for a ride. Alright, let's see what we can do. Put the kickstand up. Supposed to kick a couple. Holy cow, this thing's fast. 10. Whoo! Oh, you barely push it and it's going. Yep, it works great. See how the brakes work. Okay, so it's fixed. Not too bad. There's a speed mode, I guess, if you want to call it. But there you go, it's all fixed. So they should have a good time with that running around the yard. The new batteries and the new motor, like I said, I think we got maybe $290, I think, right about there. They're like 500 bucks new, so for $40, including the $40, we're at $290. So we got a $500 scooter for $290. So it's not too bad. We saved a couple $100 on it. Super fast, runs great. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.